Done, Safa?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Safa. I think your time is up. Other students are entering. We'll continue it in the next class. From distance, I'll repeat this again because we just did it very quickly. Distance and display.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll do it in the next class. Okay. All right.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Raneem, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, so Raneem, in the last class, we just stopped at this point where we were discussing polarization. So, just a quick revision of that, then you can note down all because writing part was left. So, molecules are those molecules whose centers of positive and negative charges are not coinciding. So, they are like this. So, they have a dipole moment because the centers are not separated. Then there are molecules which are called non-polar molecules. Their centers are always colliding, so there is no permanent dipole moment. There is no permanent dipole moment. Now, in polarization, what happens? Initially, there is no electric field. So, the dipole moment is also zero, no electric field is there, and all the centers of positive negative are colliding with each other. When the electric field is drawn, it pulls the positive charge that are the protons towards themselves in whichever their direction they are. So this causes all of these positive charges and negative charges to get separated. So they act now like polar molecules. This is polarization. You are making non-polar to polar molecules. Then we discussed what happens then to polar molecules. Polar molecules initially due to thermal agitation, all these polar molecules are in random directions. They are oriented differently. So all of these are giving the dipole moment as zero. Still they are giving zero because individual dipole moments are getting cancelled with another dipole moment. They are arranged in such a manner that one is cancelling the other. If one is up, other will be down. If one is right, other one will be left like this. When electric field is applied, again all the positive are pulled towards the protonic side, and means the protons are pulled towards the electric field side, and the negative and positive charges get separated. So here you get dipole moments. All the purpose is to get the dipole moment. So we studied that it's in either case whether polar or non-polar, dielectric develops a net dipole moment in the presence of external electric field. The dipole moment per unit volume is polarization denoted by P. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
just write it. Then let's start with current electricity.
Ma'am, before we move on to the next chapter, can we do the homework questions, ma'am? I was not able to solve the MCQ. Can we try them?
But I haven't received your assignment, any of it.
Yes, ma'am. That only I was not able to solve. That's why I didn't submit.
Okay, which ones then? But at least when you attempt it, see, discussion part is on me. I'll definitely discuss all the assignments. But at least you should have tried whatever you could do. Submit that. I'll see till which step you are able to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which assignments? But from this chapter, potential,
Yes, ma'am.
MCQ ones.
Yes,
Which
ma'am. The one
one
you
or
gave
the
on June 5th.
June 5th, Thursday? Thursday? We didn't have any class. Acha, okay. Wednesday's assignment you must have received on 5th June. Wait, let me check. Okay. Meanwhile, you write. Let me see. Raneem, those questions are from your NEET. Okay, all the three MCQs. Three MCQs must have been there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they are from NEET. Combination of capacitors and all, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I'll discuss it.
Ma'am, done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, Raneem, I checked the 5th June's assignment. 3 questions are there. 2 are theoretical. One is a question which involves the capacitor. That question, the capacitor one, there that is there in your NCRT also, and that similar question came in your NEET also. So attempt it by yourself, and it's not difficult. Uh, revise the notes, revise the class notes first. If you're unable to do this assignment, it means you have not practiced the class notes properly. So this means you need to go through the class notes first properly, and then you will be able to attempt it. Because the first 2 questions that are there, they are theoretical completely. And they are from that part, battery connected and battery disconnected we have done. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
It is from there. So revise those conclusions again. And that capacitor question is very important. Exactly same question is there in your NCRT also. So it was there in your NEET 2017's paper. So from there the question is there. So start solving from outer periphery. At least get till the C equivalent part. Just at least try it, attempt it. Even if you're doing
Okay.
it, then we'll discuss it. Okay. And try to submit other homeworks also, whichever homeworks are left. Okay. See, Rani. Now coming to current electricity. So this is chapter 3 of your NCRT and this is a different unit. This is not your electrostatics. This is from your electrodynamics. Now, what is the meaning of electrodynamics? Dynamics means something which is in movement. And electron is not for electrons. By now, you must have understood that we never just talk about electrons. It is about electric charges. The movement of electric charges is what is this unit, which is chapter 3 of your NCRT, current electricity. This is just the heading for this. Chapter's name is current electricity.
Yes, ma'am.
So basically, this chapter means that when you had the charge and this charge was at rest, means velocity is zero and it wasn't moving. It was giving rise to electrostatic forces, which we discussed in the Coulomb's law.
Yes.
Then it gave rise to electric field. Also, this charge, which was static, it wasn't moving. It gave rise to potential, and all these things we studied. Now, when this charge has started moving with certain velocity, let's say non-zero, some value is there, this is nothing but what we call as current. This is current. Current is not some external term that we are putting into our system and trying to solve, or a new physical quantity which is there, like the way charge was introduced to you after class 11 for the first time. In class 12, you studied about charge. That was a new quantity that wasn't there before. But electric current is just flow of charges. All the electrons flow. It's just that to understand electric current, we'll take it as a separate term for our understanding, that direction of current is this, current is moving like this, current is this. We'll talk about it like this only. But actually, you should just know to clear your basics that it's just the movement of the current. Like if I take a wire, let's say I've taken this wire, okay, and I cut it, and I take a very small, narrow cross section here. Let's say at t is equal to 0, means initially there are certain charges flowing here. Okay, charges are flowing. Q amount of charges have started flowing. Q has started flowing. And exactly at t is equal to some t, I stop the time. Now I will see whatever is the amount of charge that has flown through this wire. That is what is my current. In this t time, how much charges have flown? See, whenever the term rate is there, in physics, you see this term rate. Rate term is present. Rate
Yes.
means something that is changing with respect to time.
Ma'am,
Like
are we talking about the speed of the charges or the quantity of the charges?
quantity of charges, not speed. Speed will come. Drift velocity is there a topic. So we'll talk about its speed. We are talking how much charge amount. We are talking about the quantity amount. How much charges have flown through a wire in a particular time instant. But this is depending on time. We are measuring it with respect to time. The amount of charge, not the quantity of charge. We are measuring it with respect to time, not with position or any other thing. Like, see, in class 11th, you had velocity. Velocity was rate of change of displacement. So rate means something that changes with respect to time. There we had displacement divided by time, which was velocity. Or we had velocity divided by time, that was acceleration rate of change of velocity. So anything that changes with respect to time, we say rate. We are seeing the rate, how it is changing with respect to time. And what are we seeing? The amount of charges. That's why current formula is simply I is equal to Q by T. This is the basic formula. Charge divided by time. Formula of current is charge divided by time, because we are seeing how many charges have flown in a particular time. This is it. That's it. This is the basic formula, but we'll see what kind of questions come. So what is this I? I is your current. Q is the charge. And T is the time. This is the formula. But see, in class 12th, you can have various modifications in this, as in if your charge is constant, okay, if the charge is a constant, you use I is equal to delta Q over delta T. Not even delta Q, you just take this value, Q over T. We'll see it through the questions only, then only it will be clear. If your charge is variable, then you differentiate current with respect to T. Now, detailings of these two, here a delta can also be used. I'll tell you through the question, because without the question, the formula is always useless to understand. But the meaning should be clear to you. Once the meaning is done, then we'll move forward. Now see, Raneem, current has a direction, like it moves towards the positive terminal, negative terminal, upwards, downwards, along the wire, like this direction of current is there. So what will you categorize electric current as, scalar or vector?
Ma'am, vector.
This usually comes in the mind that this has to be a vector quantity because direction is there, magnitude is there. See, your electric current is actually a scalar quantity. See, for a quantity to be a vector, what are the criteria for it? It should have a magnitude. It should have a direction. And it should obey the vector laws. Now, regarding electric current, this has the magnitude, it has a direction, but it doesn't obey the vector laws. So that's why this is the only scalar quantity whose direction is present. The scalar quantity whose direction is present. So it's a scalar, not a vector. So as soon as it becomes a scalar, calculations reduce to half. It makes the calculation very easy. In potential, you will find the calculations are not so tough as they were in the case of electric field and electric force. Now, coming to the SI unit is this ampere. That's it. A. You will find the SI unit written like this, current like this, 5 ampere of current. Often a milliampere is used and microampere like this. These are often used because the device ammeter and voltmeter that we'll see later on, they usually measure the currents in milliampere and microampere. So these are the most common units of it. But ampere is the main actual unit. Now coming to this direction part. What is the direction then? The direction is very easy here. Let's say a positive charge is there. It is moving in the right hand side with certain velocity. So direction of current will also be in the same direction for a positive charge. Wherever the positive charge is moving, we consider the direction of current to be in that manner. But when we take negative charge, let's say it's moving in the same direction. This time the direction of current will be exactly opposite. It will just be reversed like it was previously. This is how it will be present. Direction of current is this. This is the direction of current. Same for positive charge, opposite for negative charge. Is it clear till here?
Yes, ma'am. So it's positive to negative.
So positive to negative. We are not referring to terminal of the battery. Terminal of the battery can be anything. Charges can come from positive to negative and negative to positive also. Right now, I'm not talking about cells or batteries. I'm just saying if a simple charge is moving, that is current. So direction, we take same for positive and opposite for negative. By convention, this has been put. So that's why. Just to distinguish it, we take the direction. Please write it, Rani. Then we'll see some other things.
Ma'am, is it I constant or Q constant?
Charge constant.
Ma'am, done. Ma'am, done. Ma'am. Ma'am, done.
So let's come to the numerical. T. This will give you a good idea about calculation of current using charge. It is saying charge flowing through a section of a conductor is this. As soon as we see, we know it's variable charge. Now it says calculate current in 0 to 2 seconds. Now look here, Ani. 0 to 2 seconds. This is a time interval, right? There is an initial time, there's a final time. Means there's a duration, there's a gap, time gap. Okay, from initial time to final time, this is the time interval which is given. In this case, you calculate the current using the formula change in the charge by the change in the time. Okay, change in the charge by change in the time. Now, how can we do that? See, let's calculate the final charge. Now, final charge, or let me calculate the initial charge. Initial charge will be at initial time. This is our initial time. Now, what we'll do, if I put t as 0, I'll get the charge for 0 seconds. If I put t as 4, I'll get the charge for 4 seconds. If I put t as 10, I'll get the charge for 10 seconds because I have the equation of charge. And
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
depending on time. So whatever values of time I'll put, I'll get that charge for that time. If
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want the charge at 0, means initial, I'll put 0 instead of t, 3 into 0 square plus 2 into 0 plus 1. How much it is? 1. 1 coulomb, right? These two will be 0.
Oh, yes,
Then
ma'am.
let's calculate the final charge. Final charge will be for the final time, right? This is the final time for me. Right now, this is the final time for us. We don't have any other value, so this is our final charge. So if I put 2 here in this equation, 3 into 2 square plus 2 into 2 plus 1. How much is it? 16, 17. 17. I've got the initial charge, final charge. Now, what's the initial time? Initial time is given 0. And what's the final time? Final time is 2. This is 0 seconds. This is 2 seconds. This much is clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. Now see, when we write this formula, I is delta Q over delta T. This basically means we are calculating final charge minus initial charge by the final time minus initial time, the time duration and the amount of charge that has flown. So final is 17 minus initial is 1 by 2 minus 0. This is 16 divided by 2, that is 8 amperes. Now see, the kind of current that we are getting here on using this current is known as the average current. This is termed as the average current, where you have a duration is present. Duration you can say, or time interval you can say. Time interval or duration, they are present. Now this was the first part. Let's come to the second part. Second part says current at t is equal to 2 seconds. Now this is a very particular time. Here when we had to calculate, I had a time interval. Okay, I could put these values and I could substitute here. Now look at the problem with the second question. It is saying current at t is equal to 2 seconds. Now if I put 2 here in this equation, will I get current at 2 seconds or charge at 2 seconds?
Ma'am, charge.
Charge, because the equation is of charge. Like here, when I took here, this one, this is the equation, this is the charge at 2 seconds, 17 coulomb. So I will, when I put t is equal to 2 in this equation again, I'll get 17 coulomb back. That is the charge. Here, charge and times were there, different times were there for all the intervals were given. So we could divide and get our answer. Simple division worked here. Now we need current equation. If I have the current equation, then I can calculate the value of current at any time. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 100 seconds also. Like here I have the ability to calculate the charge at any second because I have the equation of charge with me. I know how the charge is depending on time. You put the value of time as any number, anytime you want to calculate, and you get the value of the charge. So similarly, if I have the equation of current and I put the time there, then I'll get the current at 2 seconds. Yeah?
Yes.
Now, this is when the differentiation plays a role. Here, if I differentiate charge with respect to time, it will give me current. So,
Ma'am, so we need a currents equation instead of charges.
yes, see, you want current at 2 seconds. A time instant is there.
Ma'am,
See,
but why can't we substitute that to value in charge and then divide by 2?
then you're saying divide, you put this value here.
Yes,
That
ma'am,
is the
and divide
charge
by
at
2.
2 seconds. Charge at 2 seconds divided by time, which is 2 seconds. This is not a time interval. See, Rani, this is a time instant. This is not an interval. This is a time instant. Here, the value of charge, that is 17 coulomb, which is for t is equal to 2 seconds. If I take this value, this will be specifically for charge at 2 seconds. This is not signifying whether the charge will exactly be 17 coulomb at 2 seconds or not. See, it's a very particular time instant, like 2 seconds, it's a big term. It could have been 0.34 seconds, like this. You have the equation of charge, you have the values of charge, but this is a time instant. So in instant, you don't get the average current. Average current fails to work in case of instant. Here you require instantaneous current that can provide you with the values of time at every instant. If you put all the values of time here and get the values of charge and then divide it by the time, those will be two different charges for different times. So you will not get it for one particular instant. So it's better you differentiate it directly. 3t equation of charge is 3t square plus 2t plus 1. Yes, Raneem, tell me. 3t square, how do we differentiate it?
n n plus 1 divided by n plus
That
1.
is integration. X to the power n becomes nx to the power n minus 1. This is differentiation. The one which you were answering was integration. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what will it be? 3t square. Just
So,
tell me
ma'am,
what
3t.
3 into t. Exactly.
3t.
Yes. 3 is a constant. 3 is a constant. And here you have 2t to the power 2 minus 1 plus what's the next thing?
Ma'am, 2.
2. Anything else?
2. 2 to the power 1 minus 1 would be 0.
Not 2 to the power 1 minus 1.
I
T
mean
to
t. Yes.
the power 1 minus 1. Yes, differentiation of 1.
Ma'am, 1.
0, it's a constant. Revise differentiation and integration. You'll have trouble in solving numericals then. Okay. Just whenever you get free time and you're not studying any current subject, then try to revise integration and differentiation. Or if you want, you can take the video lecture also for your reference so that you can just forward and skip and at least get the questions and it will give you a practice. Because I'll tell you frankly, Raneem, differentiation and integration will not leave you till your semiconductors also. And you are a NEET aspirant. There, these questions are often used, and these basic differentiations should be done orally for you, for students who have to appear for it, because you'll get various typical questions. There is a random arc here, a very small angle d theta has been taken, an electric field has been put here. Calculate the electric field in the entire arc, where you have to then integrate this whole, such things you have to integrate, keeping all the variables intact. So for practicing these things should be at your tips. So practice it. Through practice, you'll be able to recall. So current here 3 into 2, this is 60 plus t to the power 0. See, it is 1. Any variable, any constant to the power 0 is 1. So this is just 2. Now I have the equation of current with me. So at t is equal to 2 seconds, I'll get current as 6 into 2 plus 2, that is 14 amperes. The name, this is the difference. 14 amperes we are getting here and 8 amperes we are getting. You cannot divide a time instant. That is not a time instant. In the formula, this wasn't a time instant. Our answers have changed. One was 8 amperes. Now, which kind of current this is? This current is known as instantaneous current, where you have a time instant present. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, at any second it will give you to calculate the current. And these kinds of questions are there in your NEET exam also. And I'll tell you, a similar question came in 2nd April's shift of JE also. This similar question, with charge was, I think the opposite was given, and we had to integrate something like this. But a very similar question was there related. Is this now clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then write it.
Ma'am, done, ma'am. Ma'am, done, ma'am.
See, this says that an electron is revolving around nucleus with frequency nu. This symbol is given. Now, when we have the formula of current, we know current is charge divided by time. That's what we've studied. Current is
Yes.
charge into time.
Yes.
Now, from your 11th classes knowledge, can you tell me the relation between time and frequency?
Ma'am, frequency is the number of oscillations in a
No,
given
I'm
time.
asking the relation, time and frequency.
Ma'am, is it inversely proportional?
Now you're closer. Frequency is 1 upon time period. Remember, you must have recalled by now because you said also they're inversely proportional. That's right. I can write this as Q into 1 by T. Now look, if I talk about the charge, it's given as electron. So I'll put electronic charge. This is what? This is the electronic charge. And 1 by time can be written as frequency. So I can say current is E into mu. This is the answer. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You write it, then we'll see how to deal with the graphs. Graphical questions have come in the board exams recently.
I'm done.
Okay, see, graph for the graphs question, no? Just have a very small basic idea about the graphs. That is there from the concept of class 11th itself. See, when you have two things getting divided in a graph, y-axis is there, x-axis is there, and both of these quantities are getting divided. Like if it is charge versus time graph, okay, here we can see that the charge by time, they both are getting divided, right? Q versus T, Q by T, divided in the sense to get current in order to give you the third quantity. Like we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
divide any two quantities. Charge can be divided by current also, but that's not relevant. It's physically insignificant. It will be just a graph, but that won't have a meaning. So Q divided by T is giving us the current. So when you have any two quantities getting divided, the third quantity, like here we have the electric current, this is given by the slope of the graph. Okay, slope of the graph. Now, what does the slope of the graph mean? This basically means tan theta. Okay, this means tan theta. So when you calculate, you use this angle. See, you know tan theta is already your perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular will be your y component, that is q. Base will be your x component, that is t. So see, you're getting this back. That's
Yes,
how
ma'am.
you have it. You can take any example. This is not just for Q versus T graph. It is for any graph. Like if I take position versus time graph from your class 11. Position versus time. X divided by T is giving velocity. So if I'm dividing these two, means the slope of the graph, that is tan theta, will give me velocity.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
tan theta's value is something, that's how we get it. But if two quantities are getting multiplied, See, if I is equal to Q by T, I cannot plot Q and I graph. That won't give anything. But if I multiply current with time, that will give me
Charge.
charge back. Very good. Current into time. Here we have two quantities. They are getting multiplied. So the third quantity, like here we have the charge. Electric charge is there. This current into time is giving us the charge. This electric charge, this when we have to calculate it, now you will take the area under the graph. Like if I give you an example from your class 11th, work done. Work done was force into displacement.
Yes.
So for calculation of work done when it was force into displacement, force and displacement were plotted and area under the graph used to give us the work done because they were getting multiplied. So use this rule for any question that you get in NEET. In boards, you know what kinds of questions will come, so they are fixed. But this should be a general rule for a NEET exam, right? So you should just know that two quantities are getting divided, two quantities are getting multiplied. What's their result? Like if this is the graph, this shaded region will give me the area. So this area of the triangle, which we'll just consider as half into base into height, this will give us the time. So whatever figure is it, in your board exams recently, a trapezius came. Means the shape was looking like a trapezius. That question I'll give you in homework. You calculate the area, you find out whatever is given, whether it's charge. I think in that the charge is there. So you try that. Today's homework, I'll give you that question. Okay. This part is clear. Area, graphs, and all. So
Yes, ma'am.
anything you want to ask till now?
No, ma'am. For different shapes, we have to take the area of that particular
That
shape.
you need to remember. Like triangle half base into height, rectangle length into breadth, square side into side. And trapezius is a common figure for which you should know half into sum of parallel sides into height. So that, yeah, that you should know from your basics knowledge. Okay. Mostly trapezius is there. Apart from trapezius, it won't make complicated figures. Not even NEET till now it has been asked. Not and in your board exams you also get simple figures. More graphical portion is there in your 11th. That's why I emphasized on NEET because in NEET you have 11th pack.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
in class 12th, the basics I versus T graph can be given, Q versus T graph can be given. They can be given to plot also, and they can just be given to calculate the third quantity's value. Okay? Okay, Running, write it.
Ma'am, done, ma'am.
Understand drift velocity. Now we are talking about velocity. Okay, the term velocity, and because charges are moving, so of course now we can easily talk about velocity, acceleration, all these things. We were restricted in electrostatics. Now we can use these terms. So let's say here we have. I am just taking a segment of wire and I am enlarging it so that we can see what are the constituents which are present inside. Okay, so wires are of their original shape only, the way wires are present. Like this, a very small segment of wire is there, which I have enlarged. Now, in this, there are various things present. You have positively charged ions also. You have negatively charged ions also present. And of course, you will have electrons present. Everywhere, electrons are present. Now see, when no wire is connected to the battery is not there, so no electric field is there. There is this electric field part we discussed in polarization also, that how electric field always influences the charges. So electric field is a very important quantity here also. So what will happen here when electric field is not set up, means no electric field is there right now, electric field is zero. Why no electric field is there? Because we have not switched on our circuit. We have not switched on. Battery is not activated. No electric field has been set up. So electrons are in random movement. They are in random motion, moving here, there. Like some of them are colliding with the positive ions. Some of the electrons are colliding with the negative ions. Some of the electrons are colliding with each other. Some of the electrons are colliding with the walls of the container. Like this, they are just in random movement.
Ma'am, but wouldn't the charges have their own electric field?
But
Ma'am, wouldn't the charges have their own electric field?
each charge inside the wire,
Yes, ma'am.
all of these electric field is what? It's a vector quantity. It's like, see, that's what I'm saying, related with polarization. Individual dipole moments were present in the
Yes.
polar molecules. Still the net dipole moment was zero. These charges also, this is one point, that these are in different directions. So electric field is a vector that will cancel. All the electric field will get cancelled. You'll not have any electric field left. Second point is that their individual electric field for one single electron is very weak. There are numerous infinite electrons. Imagine electric field of one single minute electron. So this electric field also is very weak here. Electric field is very weak here. Otherwise, we'll always, if these electric fields are such strong quantities, for such electrons, we'll always have current everywhere. We will be experiencing current so much. But this is not the case. Current is not felt like this until you touch the circuit. That's a different thing. So here, all these electric fields are also existing for individual, but those individual electric fields are getting cancelled. And also, why? Because these are internal electric fields. What you are referring to is the internal electric field. So internal electric field is zero, like you're related with polar molecules. Despite having the dipole moment, internal dipole moment led to zero. So this is the external electric field which I'm referring to. This is the external field of the battery that is setting up here, because that cannot be cancelled. There is nothing to cancel that value of electric field. Okay, all these will be cancelled, but this cannot be cancelled. So this point is important, what we were discussing, what happens to the electrons, because this has come in your previous year question. I'll discuss that question also with you just now. This is what happens. Let's say this is the same wire segment, and let's say electric field has been set up, means the value of electric field is non-zero this time. So what happens? All of these electrons, they get aligned and they tend to move towards the positive terminal. Now battery is there, negative terminal will be there, positive terminal will be there. So out of the negative positive, electrons will be attracted to which terminal?
Ma'am, positive.
Positive, exactly. So all of these electrons, they drift towards this positive terminal of the battery. All of these electrons are moving towards this positive terminal. Now, when they are moving, velocity of every electron is different. Let's say this is V1, this is V2, this is V3, V4, V5, nth number of electrons are there, Vnth are there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If I want to know what's the velocity of current, what's the velocity of current, what's the velocity of charges, so which velocity will I consider? Don't think that I have done 5 electrons, only 5 to 6 electrons. There are infinite electrons, so every electron will have its own velocity. So when you are asked to write about something, like if your class is there in your school and I ask you what is the score of your class in physics, so who students marks will you tell me? One who has got the highest, one who has got the lowest, mid average school average mark student or something? You cannot give your answer like that. You will take the average of all of the marks and tell me this is the mark of your class.
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
That's how we
Yes,
do.
ma'am.
Similarly, when all of these electrons have so many distinct varieties of velocities and they have their individual velocities, when you have to determine one velocity with which the current is flowing, or with which all these electrons are drifting towards the positive terminal under the influence of this electric field, that average of all of these velocities is what is called as drift velocity. So what is drift velocity? It is the average velocity. Why average? Because we are calculating the average and we will calculate it the way you have studied in your mathematics statistics. 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by n.
Yes,
That's how
ma'am.
we calculate. That's the way we are calculating this. Average velocity with which all these electrons drift towards the positive end of conductor under the application of electric field. This is what is the meaning of drift velocity. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Please write down this part first.
Ma'am, done.
Okay. I was discussing. I was saying that there was a question that came. Let me discuss that.
Ma'am, does this drift velocity have a formula?
Yes. We'll do a derivation. One derivation that is there for it, and a very lengthy derivation is there. Drift velocity has a formula also, and it's very important. It will have an application till the whole resistance part will have this drift velocity. See, this question came in your previous year, 2021's paper. Basically, the same discussion that we discussed, that the electrons are moving. So, question was, I'll just write down the question beside so that when you have the answer written, so at least you'll have the question also with you. So, it said that what happens to the free electrons when electric field is set up.
Ma'am, is this case based?
नहीं. It came as an independent 2 marker question. And this was with reference to this only. See, when the nucleus is there are various orbits in which all these electrons are present. Remember,
Yes.
in our first classes also we discussed this, and you
Yes.
also know this. So these electrons, when they are within the shell, they are called as the bounded electrons. Sorry. Once they come out of the atom, these electrons, then they are called the free electrons. So these electrons that are moving, they are the free electrons. Okay, that's why the term free electrons has been mentioned here. See, what does it say? It says that conductors contain free electrons. Now, free electrons, you get it out of the atom. In the absence of any external electric field, means before that, when we wrote electric field is zero. In the absence of any external electric field, see, there is no external electric field. Internal electric field is there, right?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
there is no external electric field. The free electrons are in random motion, just like the molecules of a gas in a container. Like if you have a gas in a container, all the molecules will be in random motion here and there. Similarly, this was there in your kinetic theory, if you can recall. Postulates were there in your kinetic theory chapter, class 11. And the net current through the wire is zero. If the ends of the wire are connected to a battery, means when we are connecting it with a battery, an electric field will be set up. So when electric field is set up, an electric field will set up at every point within the wire. Due to this electric effect of the battery, the electrons will experience a force in the direction opposite to electric field. Why opposite? Because they are electrons.
Ma'am, current. Yes, ma'am, current.
Not because of current. Force. Remember, try to recall the torque one before which we did that. Force is in the same direction, plus QE, minus
Yes,
QE.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Or you can simply say towards the positive turn. So its answer is, it's clear here.
Yes, ma'am.
Just write down this part.
Done, Kareem?
Ma'am, just a minute, last line.